Welcome friends, today we're decluttering. Lately I've been noticing things just piling up a bit and things that I can't remember the last time that I used. So today, let's spend some time simplifying. I feel like clutter always begins for me in the kitchen, so I want to start here and we'll work our way around the house. Seeing right away so much that doesn't belong. Don't need these anymore. Always with the expired coupons. Need to find a good way of storing some of Oliver's crafts. They just end up on our fridge or just shoved in a drawer, but I want to save at least some of them. I know he'll do so many over the course of his life. I feel like some of them will just be really sweet memories to keep. Been doing better at keeping this tidy. I'm gonna do a little touch up. That needs to go away. Put that back in there. Not too bad. I mean, that's the thing too, isn't it? Sometimes decluttering isn't just about removing what you don't need, but it's just putting things back where they belong, neatening things up a bit. That can also make a big difference. I do have probably more of these little fancy cheese serving utensils than I need. I think I'll keep one or two, but I don't really need more than that. I'm gonna pass these on. And this bottle brush. I have so many of these. I don't really use this round vase ever. I was planning to pass these on to my sister-in-law. So take those out, set them aside. I don't know when the last time I used this was. Usually prefer putting flowers in little vases like this, or I've got a couple of others. See if this one will fit in here. And a lot of these disposables we do use when we have large parties and stuff. Forgot I had these. These are a bunch of labels for like cleaning, laundry. 2 cleaning label ones. I don't think I'll use the cleaning labels. See about the laundry. I don't know that I would use these. I obviously bought them at one point, but I'm gonna pass these on. I feel like I'd probably just use my label maker for those. Oh, these are where my extra batteries went. I think. Hasn't burned out yet. What is this single moss ball doing in here? I think everything else is good to keep. I'm also going to pass on this book, this mixer. Since I have the full-size KitchenAid now, I don't really need this. My mission, drink through all the tea in my collection, is going pretty well. Haven't bought any new tea since then, but still got a ways to go. So I think really what I'm trying to do here is just to drink through rather than to throw out or pass on most of the tea that I have. But let's just double check. Oh, my hydration powders. This is really just turned into a full-on drinks cabinet for me. Maybe just this sample I'll pass on to a friend because I'm not obsessed with the flavor. But I think everything else in here I will get through. Another cheese knife. I need to find a better system for organizing this. Really don't need to keep that. I don't know that I need this or what even this is from. What is this even? The rest of this though, use all the time. Well, it's feeling good just getting in and even tidying some of this stuff. So that's empty. A little trash. Probably come up with some better organization for this situation, but I do want to keep everything in there. Good there, there. Pass that on. I have 2 of these little pitchers. Do I need both? I think I can pass this one on. Never really used this mug. Okay, then water bottles. I'm going to pass this one on. Shaker belongs right there. Have a few travel mugs that I think pass this one on. It's the smallest and I love taking a big tea with me, so I don't really use it. I just went through medicine recently, so I think we're good here. Okay, this one's fine, although I'd love to do some kind of organizer situation in there. Got these beautiful Nutribits recently, so I'm going to replace my old ones. Just keep those 2. Actually, let's. I feel like we're good to go in there. Same within here. Probably put this bottle warmer and some of the bottles and other things in storage. Oliver usually drinks from a sippy cup at this point. Oh, gross. This hasn't been washed. Pumping stuff doesn't even belong in there. Well, that's so much better, and just going to put all of this stuff in storage. Save it for next baby. Then after Oliver's party, we just kept a bunch of the little faces from the pennant banner that we made up on the fridge, and they're still really cute. I think I might keep 2 of them up here, but then I think probably I don't know if I want to keep the rest of these or store some of them away. I might keep them for now, and then I'm sure over time, as I have more and more sentimental things of Oliver's that I want to keep, I'll probably whittle them down. But for now, we'll just keep 2 of them up on the fridge. Let's keep these 2 up, and then we can take the rest down. There's already a bunch of magnets down here of Oliver's, so just don't want it to feel too cluttered. Well, invites here that have passed we can take down as well. Whenever decluttering my home, I always try to really pay attention to and focus on areas where I've just been noticing things recently that I can't remember the last time it was that I used some of the things in that space. I was doing my makeup the other day and realized, especially in this bag, there's a lot of things in here that I just don't reach for. So I figured we could just go through all my makeup. Make sure I got everything. Oh, I didn't even realize some of this stuff was back here. Okay, let's go through this. My backstock doesn't even belong over here. Haven't used this in the longest time. This, pretty sure this is empty. Tried out this hair finishing cream and I just didn't love how it worked for me. Maybe if you had thicker hair, might work well. It felt kind of goopy on my hair. I don't think I have anything that this cap goes to. And that just leaves us with 2 things in here. Look at how gross this is. I'm gonna wash this. And all my daily stuff just goes in here. Side note, I've been loving this Merit bag. So handy. Would like to have some more eyeshadow, but these ones I've basically hit pan or emptied completely. All the like softer, more neutral colors that I reach for on a daily basis. So here we go, all the makeup I'm decluttering. I'll put my backstock in the bathroom where it belongs. And these can go back. It's funny how sometimes as simple as that, that's an area that I use every day. I basically just pull out the little tray there and get ready in front of the mirror. But just going through that already just decreased my mental load so much, having that tidy, organized, and filled with only the things that I use. I just know it's going to make getting ready easier because we've removed all the products that I wasn't using. That doesn't belong there. I don't know if I've used that in a year or more. Have a ton of GoPro accessories in here, but to be honest, I basically never use them. I'll ask Christopher about this one, but for me, I think we can let go of it. Have 2 little wired microphones here. I'd love to replace with something wireless. If you can't tell, these couple of drawers here have basically become my office. I'm gonna try moving this down here. Just trying to put all of the carrying cases in one place. Then the rest of these are like maternity clothes and some winter stuff. Then bedside table. Oliver is still sleeping soundly. I like to do a once over of as much of my home as I can every so often, just to keep any clutter at bay, prevent things from piling up. Really helps me just to stay on top of everything so I'd never feel overwhelmed. Mostly just stuff in there that didn't belong, a pair of earrings. I'm just gonna put the stuff away. We'll pass on the earrings. Also forgot I had a couple of bags of things that I've been meaning to put up in our attic. Oliver's Easter basket, a couple other decor pieces that I don't reach for often. So want to take this opportunity to do that. And then I think there's some other things around the house that I've seen that need to go up to the attic. So I'm going to do that. And then this foam board right here I got for Oliver's birthday party. We didn't end up using it. So going to maybe see if someone I know could use that. I really haven't changed the basic organization in here since my friend Kenzie, who's a professional organizer, she helped me to organize it a couple of years back, but it does need some touch-ups every now and then. So want to do that right now. Broken pair of earrings. These were actually a gift from Christopher though, really special to me. So I'm going to try repairing them. I'm hoping some hot glue or some super glue will do the trick. Also, I've been loving having this little tray on the counter, just putting some of my daily essentials on there. But I have noticed I tend to dump my jewelry there. So love to find a good way to store my jewelry so that it's easy to access, but also feels organized, because right now it either gets dumped here or just miscellaneously in this drawer. And as you can tell, this drawer is a mess. I think I'm gonna move on from this. You can tell it's kind of coming apart. And obviously it's not really solving the problem of helping me keep my jewelry organized. This doesn't even belong in there. Oh, and trash, lovely. That does belong though. Let's take care of this. Well, it's not perfect, but at least this is what it's supposed to look like. And then I don't really declutter Christopher's stuff, but we can at least tidy it up. Pretty much never use these like wide bobby pins. Maybe that was the other one. Got a bunch of new bobby pins recently. I want to add them in. Find that just keeping all of my pins and elastics in one little tub works best for me. This was a craft I was thinking of making into a Brett, but I never did. I think this is, it's pretty much empty. Maybe I can get one more use out of it. And oh, tell me if you do this too, where you use like 95% of a product and just leave a tiny little bit left. Here's me committing to you. We're going to do a little use it up challenge with really both of these products. In the next week, we're going to use up that remaining little, maybe 3%, then I'll pass those items on. If you have any products like that too, why don't you join me? Let's use these things up, get rid of them. All right, but then these bigger cabinets is where the real mess lies. Do these lose effectiveness after a period of time? Looks like they expire this year. I swear since I've been Oliver, I don't really get very many pimples, so I don't know if I even need these. This toner isn't pregnancy or breastfeeding friendly, which I feel like is just going to be my life for the next few years. So see if someone else can use that, this. Let me grab those backstock items. This is where they belong. Not really a sparkly nail polish person. Can't remember the last time I used this nail strengthener either. I'm just gonna take everything out of this and then put back what I keep. Never really reached for this makeup brush. These are backstock of products I use all the time. Sometimes if there's a good sale, something that I know that I'm going to use, I'll just get a couple of it. Don't really need 2 razors. That is so much better. You know what, looking through my jewelry, and I think this necklace I'm going to pass on as well. I probably haven't worn it in more than a year. That's kind of my unspoken threshold. If there's anything that I haven't worn, I haven't used in over a year, that's usually a sign for me that I need to move on from it. Of course, I make exception for things that are sentimental or that just have like a really specific use. We didn't go skiing last year because I was pregnant, and obviously I didn't go ahead and just declutter all of my ski gear because of that. We used it again this year, but I do find it to be a really helpful kind of guideline for whether or not I'm actually using something. I swear this wrinkle release spray does nothing. I really think water works better, so I'm going to pass that on. Keep all of our travel stuff in here. Feel like we don't really use all of this. Christopher does use these though. Travel mouthwash. I don't think we've ever traveled with this. Would it be weird if I just dumped this in our big thing of mouthwash under the sink? Might do that. Most of my stuff just stays packed in here, but depending on where we're going, sometimes I'll kind of swap out. I have heat protectant, salt spray, bug spray, and then just an empty one in here. Sometimes I'll bring one or a combination of them, just depending on how long I'm going to be gone, where we're going, the time of year. Lots of factors. Okay, that feels more like what we actually use when traveling. So much better. Linen closet. Don't keep much in here. Towels. Oh, I don't really need this bag. Got other canvas bags that serve basically the same purpose. This one's never been that sturdy. Cleaning supplies. These could really do with a wash, so let's set those aside. Trying to use up the last little bit of this. Slowly in the process of switching over some of my cleaning supplies just as I use things up. I'm going to cut these magic erasers down. They still have some life in them, but I find that they work a lot better if you just take out the parts that are fraying, and then you're left with, you know, still a decent sized sponge. So here it will just go like this, this, and this will buy us at least a few more uses out of these. There we go. I know we went through my clothing not too long ago, but got a clothing swap coming up later this week. It's going to be on Friday. And so I figured we could just do a quick little sweep of my closet, make sure there's nothing, like this, that I want to pass on. Haven't reached for this top in the longest time. It's beautiful though, silk, but it just doesn't fit me quite right. I really do try to stick to the policy of if it's not a love, it's a pass. Never really reached for this t-shirt either. There are just others that I like more. just one shirt from the drawers. Something I just found tucked away in the corner, really haven't reached for in years, is this camera travel bag. Most of the time when I'm out, I'll just put my camera bag either in my backpack or my suitcase if I'm flying. So as nice as this is, it never really ends up getting used. So I think it's time to move on. Not sure really what's inside of this. Looks like just a couple of things. Probably empty it out, go through the contents, likely pass on what's in here as well. But yeah, I just don't think that this really makes sense to hold on to when I'm not really using it. Back out here in the dining room, because I forgot to go through this and I've been meaning to. This is where I store some like miscellaneous decor and hosting supplies. I was in here recently and noticed just a handful of things that I feel like I'm ready to move on from. These dried florals are basically falling apart. And then let's just get this out so I can see what I have. Don't really need this pot since I've reduced how many indoor plants I have. Basket too. I feel like there are other things I have that I just reach for over it. These I do use though. And then florals wise, I think it's been a few years honestly since I decorated with these. Some of these florals I'll get out just depending on the season. Like I'll often bring out the lavender for summer. I do really like being able to switch it up from season to season, but I have found that these particular ones just don't quite go with my style. I'd say the rest of these I do use though. You know, I'm going to pass these on too. And I'm actually going to get these lavender out just so I can display them somewhere. Yeah, that's pretty. And we can put these back. Yeah, that looks a lot better. I was just passing by the kitchen and I think I've decided I'm going to let go of this. I got it from our local antique mall and I've thought it before, but it's just not really my style. It's a bit more farmhouse than I really go for, and I kind of kept it there to see if it would grow on me, but I don't really think it has. Okay, then I can hear Oliver waking up from his nap, so let's do this quick. Want to go through his books and his toys. It's crazy how fast we've accumulated so many books. A couple of these like black and white ones I'm just gonna put away for future babies, but there are a few that we just haven't loved with him, so passing those on. But I did default to keeping more of the books just because, I mean, we go through so many of them. We probably average reading between like 5 and 10 books a day. At some point I really want to find a better way to organize some of these toys too. When there were fewer, just piling them up in here worked, but as he gets bigger there are just so many pieces. And apparently like 15 burp cloths were in here. I am trying for the most part to keep all of his toys and books fitting in this area here, but I feel like as he gets older it gets harder. But regularly decluttering and just passing on or putting away things that he's not playing with anymore, it does help a lot. Although I do think eventually I would love to move his main play area to his bedroom. Been thinking about redoing the closet in there in a way that makes it so he can just play with all of his toys. I think that would be fun, and then we could just keep a couple of the toys in here. That's what I'm thinking at least. Goodness though, I don't think I realized how many of these he's really outgrown. As far as toys go, I'm really just trying to keep the favorites for future babies. Anything that he didn't play with for long or was never all that interested in, I'm just passing on, really trying to take the approach of only wanting to keep the best of the best. So things like this, I'm really just gonna pass on. But like he loved this egg toy, this crinkle book, so we'll keep those. So there's our toy haul. Then to finish off the baby stuff, I actually went through the nursery the other day and came up with this massive basket of things that we're going to declutter. This is a combination of clothing that he's outgrown, toys he no longer plays with, basically just everything I've collected over the first year of his life that I don't want to keep for future children. So I'm probably going to bring this to a local kids consignment store in the next couple of days and try reselling as much as I can before just donating the rest. But then all of these bags are the things that I do want to save, so we're going to put these in the attic along with our Snuggle Me and the Bouncer to save for future baby. Technically these could just stay up there, but like I was saying, I love to transform this closet into a space that can be both for storing clothing and other baby things, but also for toys and just a functional space that Oliver can use to store his playthings. So I think it'll just be easiest if I move this stuff up to the attic. We're not pregnant anyways right now, so it's going to be a little while before we could even use it. We'll put up the baby bathtub too. Putting away stuff like this does make me just so sentimental. He's gotten so big. And I actually went through the dresser the other day, but it doesn't hurt to do it again. I swear he's outgrowing a new outfit every single day. Oh, like these don't fit anymore. Mittens, can put those away. Some of these winter hats I'm gonna put away. So just a few things, but still, I literally went through this maybe 2 weeks ago and there's already more things he's outgrown. And just a couple bigger things. This extra saucer I need to return to a friend. Oliver's pretty much outgrown it. And then, well, we're keeping this, but I need Christopher's help hanging this so that it's not just chilling on the floor. We don't keep much here in the guest bathroom, but it's been a while since I've gone through the cabinets down here, so just want to quickly go through them. Mostly we just keep like spare toothbrushes, toothpaste for when people come over. But always worth just double checking. We have 2 toilet bowl cleaners here, so I'm gonna condense them. Simplifies that. I think it's time to let go of these bath bombs as well. I'm not a bath person. Maybe I could try using these in the shower or just giving them to a friend who does like baths. I feel like I like the idea of a bath a lot more than the actual going for a bath, and so I never use them. Dude wipes, not sure. I don't know that we've ever used these. Okay, then the rest of this is just toilet paper and cleaning supplies. Then we're skipping Christopher's office because really I just kind of let him do what he wants in there. That really just leaves the entryway here. I think this canvas bag I can move on from. These days I mostly just use this tote. It's a little bit larger and sturdier. Also think I can move on from this bag. Did love this for a long time. Got it in Italy when we were in Florence, I think, but the strap is kind of fraying and I don't know, I think another wear or two might just make it break completely. So it served me well, but yeah, I think time to move on. And that just leaves me with the bags I use on a daily basis. Went through shoes really recently, so not super concerned about those. And then jackets, I'm gonna put this one away for the winter. I think the rest of these can probably stay out. And then again, the top section of this closet is really all Christopher stuff. I'll probably ask him if he wants to go through it. Then let's finish off with going through. I want to tidy up these cabinets. I can already tell there's so much here that does not belong. So much better. Well, I think that is just about every major space in our home decluttered, minus the garage, which that's honestly such a big project that I'm just going to save it for another day. But look how much we decluttered. Now I get the fun job of figuring out what we're going to sell, donate, recycle. It feels really good to have all this stuff out of my house, have a bunch of things that we're able to put up in storage. It's just gonna make our home feel that much more organized and peaceful. So I hope that you enjoyed coming along with me today, and I'll see you soon. Bye, friends.